Hello and welcome to another optics trade review video. I have a Vector Optics red dot sight here today of the open compact reflex type. This is one of the Frenzy models, and to be more specific, I have the 1x22x26 model here today. One refers to the 1x magnification, and 22x26 refers to the lens dimensions in millimeters. Vector Optics is a brand that has really left a mark on the sports optics market in the last couple of years. They're known for their vast offer of products available at affordable prices. In their offer, one can find rifle scopes, red dot sights, rangefinders, mounts, and similar products. And I'm quite sure that they're on the way to becoming one of the key players in the sports optics market. The headquarters of this company is in China, and they have plenty of experience in the sports optics field. They used to make, and I'm certain that they're still making components for the products of other companies associated with optics. Their own brand has been readily gaining in popularity in the last few years, and this here is just one of their many red dot sights. Even in the Frenzy line, you can pick from many different red dot sights. Now, the most similar to this one is the 1x20x28, but it doesn't have as much features and it has a little bit different form factor. It has a wider window and it measures less in height. So if that is your cup of tea, you can go and check it out. We have a review on it. Going back to this one here, this is an open reflex type of sight, as I said, and when you look at its outer appearance, you can't help but notice some similarities to the famous Trigicon SRO, especially in the lens part here. It's not near Trigicon in terms of build and optical quality, but it's also around 4 times cheaper. And for the price it's available at, which is around 220 euros, the Frenzy here definitely delivers. On top of that, it has a function that you cannot find on the Trigicon SRO, and I think that it's definitely worth giving it a try. First, I want to point out that there are two versions of the Frenzy 1x22x26. The first one is MOS, and this doesn't stand for the famous pistol that Glock makes, but it stands for motion sensor. And then we have the AUT, which stands for automatic dot intensity. Both are available at the same price of 220 euros, but there are some differences between them. Now, they both offer 10 illumination intensity levels that you can select from with the help of these two buttons at the sides. But the MOS version is additionally equipped with a motion sensor so that it goes into sleep mode after 2 minutes, powering off the illumination, and then when you move it, it immediately turns back on. So this is similar to Holosun's shake awake function. Now this here is not the MOS version, this here is the AUT, so the automatic dot intensity model. Now this one doesn't have the motion sensor feature, but it has another one. It is instead equipped with a light sensor, which you can see right here. Now you can switch from manual mode to automatic mode. In automatic mode, the brightness of the dot is automatically adjusted based on the ambient light. And then if you just don't wish to have that, you can go back to manual mode and you have 10 levels of intensity to pick from. I think that both MOS and AUT models are interesting, especially the one that I have here, the automatic one, as I can't think of any other red dot sights that would offer both automatic and manual setting of the dot at this price point. So Vector Optics has really outdone themselves with this feature at this price point. The difference between these two from the outside is that the AUT model has a sensor here and the MOS model doesn't. Okay, what about the physical characteristics? It's 48 millimeters long, 27 millimeters wide, 29 millimeters high. I would say these are standard dimensions for this type of sight. It weighs 29 grams without the adapter. The adapter weighs additional 25 grams. And without the adapter, it's actually lighter than most of the competition. The lens measures 26 millimeters in length and 22 millimeters in height. The lens frame is thin, so it doesn't cover up the target too much, and the body is made of 6061T6 aluminum alloy. You cannot see the battery compartment. This is because it's at the bottom. Now it's in between the adapter and the side. I would say this is a minus. For now, most vector optics reflex dots still have the compartment at the bottom. I'm pretty sure that when they release new generations or new models, they will put the battery compartment either on the top or on the side. If you have to remove the battery, if the compartment is at the bottom, it has to go. You need tools to remove it from the firearm, then you have to put it back. You have to re-zero it, so it's a hassle. If it's on the side or on top, the process is much faster. It holds a CR2032 battery, and Vector Optics promises 20,000 hours at the weakest visible intensity setting, which is level 3. What about the windage and elevation compartments? Pretty standard, in standard position. This one is for elevation, this one for windage. The screws don't produce any clicks when rotated. You can use this provided tool to make the adjustments. As you can hear, there are no clicks. You'll have to rely on these lines next to the screws. I couldn't find the information on the click value anywhere. I assume it's 1 MOA, as this is a standard when it comes to these sights. You get a fixed mount for the Picatinny platform. Once removed, there is the popular Trigicon RMR footprint underneath. You won't have problems finding an after-sales adapter if you are in search for one, especially if you wish to have a, quick detachable model or a more specific adapter. Dot size is 3 MOA. This is a perfect size for mounting on a rifle. It's a bit small for pistol use, even though some pistol users do like smaller dots. But I think that an additional model that provides 6 or 7 MOA would be great to have. The 1x20x28 is available in both 3 and 6 MOA. So this is somewhat of a minus for people who would prefer to have a bigger dot. The definition of the dot is clear. I will show the illumination more precisely at the end of this video. The dot is nicely round for me. I do not have astigmatism or any other eye errors. There is only a small amount of blue tint, which is apparent when you point it towards a white background. Other than that, when I tested this, I could see all the colors nicely, and it operates at true 1x magnification, so I could use it with both eyes open. It's waterproof, shockproof, fogproof, and it should withstand 338 Lapua Magnum caliber recoil without problems, according to Vector Optics. This is the scope of delivery, so you get the sight in this box, nicely soft on the inside so that it doesn't get damaged when it's transported in the box. You get this warranty card. You get this rubber cover. Now, one thing that I've noticed with this rubber cover is that it doesn't hold the position too well. As you can see, when you put it on, it just folds back up. And I think that they use the same cover for both the 1x22x26 and the 20x28 model. And on the 20x28 model, it sits perfectly, while here it doesn't, because it has a bigger window. So this is a little bit of a disadvantage. We have the two tools that you can use for zeroing and mounting. And then you have this Vector Optics lens cloth. What I notice is that there is no instruction manual with this sight. I checked 3 boxes. There is no instruction manual inside. This is perhaps only with this line of delivered red dot sights. Perhaps it's not like this with all of them. The warranty on the sight is 10 years. And this basically takes me to the end of this video, where I'll go through the pros and cons. What I like? Well, I can go past the automatic and manual dot intensity setting. So you can basically switch between the two. Even the one that doesn't have the light sensor is equipped with a sophisticated movement sensor. But I think that if one dot had both of these features, that would just be amazing. So for now, you have to decide which one you need more. either the automatic light or the motion sensor. I also like the RMR footprint, the buttons which are flush with the housing, the view through the lens, which is really clear, and of course the price of this sight. So it's 220 euros, really affordable for what it offers. What I think could have been done better, so there are also some things that are worth pointing out here. The first one is that the elevation and windage screws do not produce clicks when turned. The battery, which is at the bottom, so it's a little bit of a hassle if you have to remove the replace the battery once while the sight is mounted on the firearm. And the cover problem, which I mentioned, it doesn't stay in place. It gets a little bit annoying, but it doesn't fall off or anything. It just keeps on going up. So a little bit annoying. Okay, if you're looking for an affordable compact reflex sight and want to get the most for the money that you spend, then Vector Optics Frenzy 1x22x26 is definitely the way to go. I hope that you found the review useful. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. If any questions or you want to add anything to this particular review, leave a comment down in the comment section. Take a look at our other Vector Optics video. Take care and see you next time. Goodbye.